All right, so last year was 100 companies. This year you're hoping for 200 companies. And if you're like 1.5% rate, call it 2%. So 1 in 50 gets into your process. So 200 times 50, I mean, I guess we do the math. You're looking at 10,000 companies will apply that you have data on, and then you'll decide, whittle those down to the 200.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and split this out. Then they go through, I think, a 12-week accelerator. You have different kinds, I think also based on different blockchains. And then at the end, I think, or maybe even in the beginning, you're giving them seed investment. I don't know if it's 100,000 or 200,000. Yeah. So that's the process. Is that about right?
Yeah, exactly. So unlike a Y Combinator, where they run one big program with several hundred in there.
Once a year they do it?
I think they do it twice a year now.
Okay.
Yeah. But then they filter very hard. So like the large majority of concepts, 2 founders, they bias very heavily towards like Ivy League, type, or you've worked at Google or...
They were like the original, most famous accelerator.
Yeah.
Coming out of Silicon Valley, they accelerated Airbnb and all these other stories.
Yeah.
They started 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah. I mean, maybe...
Sam Altman was one of the founders of Y Combinator?
He went through Y Combinator, and then he became chief exec or something like that. I think Paul Graham stepped back, who was the founder. Yeah, I mean, look, they're still in Silicon Valley. It's still a physical thing in Silicon Valley, which I'm fundamentally opposed to. And look, they've made great investments. I think they bias much more towards like a classic, West Coast understanding of a tech founder. And if you're not prepared to go to Silicon Valley, well, screw you. We're the exact opposite of that. Like I want to find wherever you are in the world, and I want to know if you got like the founder grit and the curiosity and all of those things. We're less bothered. I mean, we do get ex-Googlers and everything else coming into the accelerator increasingly, but that's not why they're there. We're selecting them on different parameters. And we work with them on their terms wherever they are in the world. It also means you can work with later, like more mature founders as well. That they've got a whole family. They can't just uproot and move to Silicon Valley for 3 months or even London. But yeah, they've been very successful with that model. But they're in 2 a year, a couple of hundred in that program, very early stage concept, and they filter very hard. So like they allocate time to those that are succeeding, and those that aren't like very quickly succeeding, they kind of get less of a service level, as I understand it. Could be wrong. We're very different, so we actually parallelize what we do. So we'll work with the same number of teams, but we'll do them in smaller cohorts. So cohorts of up to 10. I think the average is about 7.5. I think the most we've ever done in a program is 13 startups. Those 13 startups, as you say, will be on a 3-month program. It's intense, but virtual. It's daily check-in. They've got their OKRs, and we're helping them discipline how they and their team manage Cascade OKRs. And we increasingly come in a little bit later, so it's not quite concept. You need a product. You need a CTO. If you don't have somebody that can build a Web3 product, there's no point joining an accelerator, because you're going to spend the whole time trying to find a CTO. People want to see you shipping product, acquiring users, customers. So we have a scoring process for them to be able to be ready to be accelerated. For those that aren't ready, we say, hey, look, we try to give as much feedback as we can. Again, like we deal with thousands of startups, so we're never able to give as much as we'd like. But for those that are really promising, we're like, hey, look, you know what? If you could do these and these things and come back and apply, you'd be ready to be accelerated. Like we're more able to give you value. You're not ready for us to help you in the way to the level that we'd like to help you. So Ryan of Crucible, I think, applied 2 times. It's third time he got accepted over 2 years, which is great to see people like really value and understand what we're doing. So anyway, so we parallelize that. We do that. Those programs historically have been protocol specific. So Polygon, Polkadot, Hedera, Filecoin, IPFS, just launched one with Aptos, just launched one with Near Protocol. So we accelerate the best teams in their ecosystems, maybe that have received grants, but want to level up, because a grant is a grant, and a hackathon's a hackathon, like actually creating a high growth startup that can go on and raise money from somebody else, not just rely on your kind of grants, means that they're going to get real network adoption. So we've been a very good friend. We're agnostic to accelerator to protocols. They just need to be scalable, usable, not actually a barrier to mainstream mass adoption of a product or solution. Increasingly, we do thematic programs now. So we ran a luxury, lifestyle, and fashion one with in the metaverse with Farfetch and various kind of luxury brands that they brought in. We've consistently done a DeFi one. We ran a ZK one with actually 10 ZK protocols, zero knowledge protocols. Very, very early, still very early, but we believe zero knowledge technology is critical to Web3 mainstreaming. So we have a thesis, we work with and through partners, but ultimately it's within our thesis. So with all of our partners, we select the teams that go into those programs. We might, we involve them in the process, but they're coming to us because we're good investors. Like, we know what we're doing. We've got all this learning. And that allows us to have very concentrated thematic links between teams, overlap. Like, there's some commonality in that they're building on the same technology, they're going to have some of the same challenges, or they're having to navigate the tooling and middleware, or they're in the same industry, market, or it's adjacent. So that allows a sense of identity within a cohort. But because they're relatively small in size, it means they just get a lot more love. So it's a higher bar to get in, I think, than going into something like Y Combinator. But once you're in there, you get full value, and we don't necessarily disregard you because you're falling behind the other teams. We kind of try to treat everybody as equally as possible.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing
in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's of course been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.